up, weebs? Welcome to WeeaBoots, the only contemporary anime review podcast from us here at GigaBoots. I'm your host, Dandadan, and with me is Bob,
UFOs,
Chris Wolfhard,
ghosts,
and Dr. Agro.
I woke up this morning with a bad hangover, and my penis was missing again.
That's right, the anime we're reviewing this week is incredibly detachable. It's Dandadan. We got to watch like 5 or 6 episodes. Hey, Bob, how many did you watch?
I watched 6.
Chris.
I watched 5 and then caught up on the manga.
Dr. Agro.
Jesus.
Yeah, I watched 6 and am planning to do that as well.
I watched 5 and then went, you said November 7th. It's November 7th.
It's 12:01 a.m. November 7th.
No, it was 8:30. I was really upset. I'm like, motherfucker, what time zone are you in? Come on.
Yeah.
Give me episode.
I have no idea when they posted. I just know it's always there by the time I watch it, like 1.
God. Anyways, yeah, if you've never watched WeeaBoots before, basically what we talk about is the episodes we watch, general impressions, anecdotes, and things about it, and at the end, we give a recommendation. Bob, as we always do on WeeaBoots, who made this anime?
This anime is directed by Fuga Yamashiro, and this is actually his first full director role. He has done episode directing for Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken and Tatami Time Machine Blues.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Of course, because of that, he is from animation production Science Saru, who did those 2 shows, and Devilman Crybaby. Scott Pilgrim takes over, Scott Pilgrim takes off. I forgot, it's a weird name.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, he doesn't take over. And this is based on a manga from Yukinobu Tatsu, who did Fireball and Saigi no Rakugo?
Rakugeki?
Which I don't know anything about those, but one of them appeared to be baseball based.
I'm stopping myself. That was the sound of my mental brake slamming. Cool. Let's talk about that though. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good anime. This is a radical take on. I'm gonna be brave enough to say this anime is pretty good.
Crazy.
I'm glad you're here to be that voice in the darkness.
I think the anime community really needs someone who's going to speak the truth right now.
Nobody else has noticed, you know?
No one's really talking about this, and I'm here to talk about it. I think it's really quite good. I think that intro would be really catchy, and people would do things with it if only the show was popular. Yeah, this anime is quite delightful. For anyone who hasn't watched it, maybe we can get you interested in it. Did the credits not get you interested? That should be enough. Go on.
I will say this is probably the most like mainstream Science Saru project.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
In the soon, I think next year or so, they're doing Ghost in the Shell, and that's the only thing that might be more mainstream. But I feel like even this is more mainstream than that because it's something brand new and a big manga that's popular at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Yukinobu Tatsu was an assistant to Tatsuki Fujimoto, who does Chainsaw Man, and you can kind of tell, you can see that influence.
Okay,
even though I think Tatsu might actually be older than Fujimoto. I don't actually know though.
Happens sometimes.
Because their first manga, that Seigi no Rokugo, was 2010, so it was a ways ago.
You know, one of the brilliant things about this anime is that it kind of fuses shoujo and shonen for the first time ever. Isn't that?
Oh my god!
Isn't that crazy?
There's a boy and a girl in it.
I kind of get where that assessment comes from. I think it's fucking that is shallow and pedantic.
You're calling my incredible insight reductive?
I do think you could have there is a discussion to be had with shonen absorbing all these elements of other genres because right now it's just sucking all the oxygen out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it needs to evolve or die.
Like, nothing else gets space to live in, especially in terms of anime adaptations. Now, that's why we're getting anime adaptations of dog shit like fucking Re-Monster. Because it's like, we need more animes. We can't... do anything that isn't for 12-year-old boys, even if it means doing an anime adaptation of fucking Monster.
Yeah, they'll do literally every single light novel they can find. They can get their hands on it. Has to get an anime adaptation, which is insane.
They will do. We've moved on to like the C tier of light novels. Not even like the cream. They used up all the cream.
Right. Which is crazy because this industry is making too many animes, and that is a problem. And people know that.
Which was, I mean, surprising in watching this show and watching how much Science Saru animated the fuck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Going like, this is TV anime? Are you serious?
Yeah, we're real stupid now. Like every single artist I follow every week is like, here's the cut I did for the latest episode of One Piece.
Yeah.
The budget was $1 zillion. we turned this dude throwing one punch into like a 3-minute Sakuga scene. And I'm like, that's cool, but it'd be cool if things moved a little faster.
You're gonna make that complaint about One Piece?
The anime, yeah.
That's a dead horse. It is 2024.
I know, but it hits a little different when every episode has a budget of $15 million now.
Yeah, it looks handsome while taking forever. The thing with this and me is like, it's absolutely gorgeous in so many ways, and I can't help but think about the poor Uzumaki fans.
Yeah. Don't think about them.
I'm like,
If WB is involved with anything, just don't even have any hope for it ever again.
Oh, that's a shame. I was really excited for those 2 new Fully Cooley things.
I think those came out already.
Don't speak their name.
I think they did.
Yeah, there could be another 2, though.
It's the Hydra fight from Hercules. We just keep chopping off heads and more grow.
Like, people pretended to watch progressive and alternative.
Mm-hmm. That did happen.
So for internet clout, like for grouse clout, but nobody even fucking pretended to watch grunge or shoegaze.
Yeah, I feel like it completely lost everyone when it's like, yeah, it's a studio you've never even heard of. Like, I don't even know if they were made in Japan. I honestly don't know.
It's worth noting that thing Chris a moment ago might have clued you in, but we should confirm it. Even we did not watch those animes.
Yeah, it's true.
Nor will we.
Nor will we.
Don't write the comment.
They were both Projection IG, though.
Okay.
Oh, and they were only 3 episodes each. Maybe we should fucking watch them.
Oh no!
God damn it! That was quick turnaround.
Jesus, come on!
I didn't know they were only fucking 3 episodes each. I thought they tried, didn't just give up and flop into the fucking coffin.
I mean, I'm all for watching the new thing. I was mostly saying Chris was revealing that we never watched the other 2. Sorry, we're dragging you into the hole in the ground. Hey, you know what I love about this thing we're here to actually talk about?
What's that?
The design of the fucked up aliens that abduct her in the first episode.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more aliens.
I love them. Their design is so fucking perfect.
Yeah, like there's a lot of design and animation in this where I'm like, wow, aren't you glad we watched Dead Leaves before this?
Yep.
Yeah, kinda.
Speaking of IG.
The gritting teeth, eyes wide open face they often do is just, hey, look at you. Yeah, in a lot of ways, the show is visually incredible. I really enjoy it to the point where in the last episode I watched, episode 5, because I'm some sort of rube who showed up 8 hours into the day they said they would put a thing up, and it still wasn't up. Thanks,
you
Netflix.
buffoon.
Yeah, I know. Just Jesus. Anyway, I really like how long they held on the girl, ISA, just listening to stuff in the room after the boy gets bullied. It's a back shot of her head with barely any animation. And I'm like, this is hilarious because so much of the show, so much that this has impact. Most shows you get a shot like that, it's like, no, we have no money.
Right.
Whereas here, it's doing a thing.
Yeah, like there's a lot of this show where, like, yes, the fights are amazing and dynamic and interesting and spectacular, but they still take the time and the frames to just make small motions matter in regular scenes. Like the cat's climbing out of the backpack and the ears flip off the rim of the zipper. And I'm like, who the fuck got permission to make this show look this good?
In all the faces they make to each other when they're arguing, incredible.
Yes.
The show would not be the same if we didn't have the budget to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because the Eizouken connection makes a lot more sense. Because I didn't look into who made this at all I did see the Science Saru, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's how you know you're in for something good.
Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park for the last decade.
The kinetic energy of movement in this, just how much weight there is in the animations and stuff, and simple things like walking away from someone grumpily is incredible. It's such a good-looking show. Thank God on top of that, it is really entertaining and interesting.
Yeah, it's always moving at a fast pace. It doesn't get bogged down by being overly dark. Like, I was kind of worried with a lot of these things that do paranormal stuff that it might be like, oh man, we're going to be like super hardcore and edgy. And it really isn't that.
And I'm going to come out in the aughts and get a dub that's incredibly aged poorly. Unlike a lot of horror shonen, this one's about the characters.
Stop. You have to stop.
Like Bob was saying, there is something really good about the tone of this show in that the things that are happening in it are often completely ridiculous. But that's communicated to the audience. It's not in the show. It's the characters are not going like, this is weird. Like, hey, check. That's in episode 6.
Go ahead.
A character's holding up what is basically a golden colored testicle that has given her superpowers. And like, yes, God chose me for this mission.
Yeah, episode 6 honestly has some of my favorite parts of the show, and I'm sad that Dan wasn't able to see it.
That's okay. That's all right. That's fine. Netflix said I don't get to.
That same girl going on this rant about how she's like God's chosen and she's perfect and everyone loves her, and then ending it with, I tried to start a rumor about her being a slut and it didn't catch on. Killed me.
That's really good.
I really love how this series just uses just the horror movie element of there's something there that shouldn't be there constantly. Just like you just turn the corner, you see the most horrific thing you've ever seen in your life. It's not going away. It's just standing there.
God, like even outside of the quality of the animation, yeah, just a lot of the visuals in this series are stunning. Although something interesting, I was interested in like what other works the author of this manga had done. So I looked into Seigi no Rokugo, and an interesting thing happened. So can anyone please tell me if they have seen another thing with a boy with black hair, this light-haired girl, and a weird little chibi mascot?
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I also saw that same image. Was like, wait, is this just the same manga?
People only most authors only have like 10 characters. That's why the fairy tale guy has like 4. That's why they keep appearing in every single thing he does.
The dude makes a roux and puts that in every soup. Like, it's
I mean, if it works, keep doing it.
He's got his own holy trinity. He's starting every manga with.
I'm so glad that I played SMT5 Vengeance earlier this year so that I knew what Turbo Granny was and didn't have to learn about it while being bombarded with the rest of this show.
Yeah, Turbo Granny is one of those things you would not assume is a pre-existing like monster.
I don't know. It actually, maybe I had experienced it in some other media from Japan, and that's why I knew. But the instant they were like, "This is a thing," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, it is. Absolutely. I believe you wholesale. If you tricked me, good on you." You know what? We always ask this. Did you watch it dubbed or subbed, Bob?
I did the dub.
Chris?
I did the sub.
Aggro.
I also did the dub and was pleasantly surprised to learn that Netflix did not just do dub titles for this one.
Oh,
great.
The subtitles are their
good.
own
They're
script.
learning.
Thank God. Because, yeah, that's value.
Yeah.
That having the subtitles that are more direct translation without having to fit mouth flaps or anything is always good.
But yeah, I was impressed by the dub mostly. Like, it seems good.
The
like,
performances are really great. They absolutely nail it.
It was really solid. They got Barbara Goodson to play Turbo Granny, that lady who is every old woman in anime you're thinking of right now.
You know, hearing her, I was like, I've heard this as an old lady in something. I didn't think it was everything, but you're probably right.
She's Rita Repulsa.
Of course she is. Jesus.
Oh, that makes sense.
Probably should have led with that.
My God.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that is absolutely Rita Repulsa.
Holy shit.
Still doing it.
That's incredible. But yeah, I found the performances of the entire dubcast really, really good. Absolutely compelling stuff. Nailed their lines and gave great personality and everything, which is really something. You don't always get that.
No. Netflix has honestly been pretty good at that.
Yeah, they have been pretty good because they did Dungeon Meshi as well, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is an anime I will die before I say the US title of. It's just so much worse. I'm sorry. I'm saying Dungeon Meshi for the rest of fucking time. I'm realizing. Every time I do, I feel terrible because my previous bit of going, My Hero, oh, you mean Boku no Hero Academia? It's literally the same bit, but I'm like, no, this time unironically.
But really this time.
But really this time. Man. Which, thank God that this title doesn't get some weird version for here.
Yeah,
It's
what would you even do?
I don't know.
It's just like, what, 3 syllables?
Two of which are identical.
Right?
We just we need to liken it to something more familiar to Western audiences to get the hook in. So we'll call it Dandadan to Dan.
I thought you were going to go for a Bob. So is this the hit anime of the season?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's anything that's
absolutely.
larger
I don't think there's anything competing.
Yeah, this season is actually really slow for anime seasons.
Yeah, like everything I'm waiting for is coming out in January.
Yeah, there's the new season of Bleach, there's the remake of Ranma, and that's kind of it.
Woof.
Yeah.
What?
Is there anything
Netflix
else?
leading the pack.
Right? There are a few other things I've tried to watch, but nothing has really caught on as far as I've seen in the larger scope.
Yeah, that's what my experience has been too. Absolutely crazy that it just is the one and only. Do we know how many episodes of this they are supposed to make?
Allegedly, this is 2 cores, so that'd be 24. But we'll see. I don't know if I completely buy that.
Yeah, they have characters like in all the promo art that from reading the manga will take a little while to get to. Like to the degree that 24 would make sense.
Okay, that's great. I'd love to see a return to that. I think 24 episodes gets you a lot more excitement in an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12 just isn't really enough.
Yeah, no, like it's if you're gonna make the anime, mean it.
Yeah, I mean, like Chainsaw Man got what, 13?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that just feels ludicrously like you cheapened it by doing that.
You didn't even get to shit in that anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they swapped to the we're doing a movie for the next season thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I am looking at this season's anime. Holy shit, they are adapting some light novel trash. What the fuck do you mean they're doing an anime for the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan? What the fuck do you mean that that's an anime now?
But the 24 episode thing helped Freerun a lot. I think that now has like staying power in the industry for years. Whereas all these 13 episode things just don't.
Yeah, it makes like the people forget seasonal in anime power. I mean problem much worse.
Yeah. Like you just need, it's like syndication rules. If it's going to loop in your head forever, you need enough content to work off of.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of content that might be in some people's heads forever, I think at this point we need to address the elephant in the room, which is Seiko Ayase.
Yeah. What needs to be addressed about her?
I nearly broke, like I had heard there was a hot grandma in this series. I had heard that report. I had forgotten about it. So when she shows up in a flashback, like dressed in traditional Miko attire, and the next time you see her, she's got the fucking coat on the shoulders, hair piled high, baseball bat that turns into a pencil.
I love that so much.
It's so fucking strong. Her intro series with like the inner and the outer barrier and the double barrier with the nail, and then that cut of her swiping the line with her foot. I was like, yes, I will follow this series forever.
But certainly Aggro is the only person who's had this reaction.
Yeah.
No one else.
It's a small niche community of people who enjoy this sort of thing.
Yes, obviously.
I love it to death. And they're like, this is my grandma. Why does she look like that? Go fuck yourself.
Yep. I was like, I'm delighted. I expect that they will explain it down the road in a funny way.
Mm-hmm. God, grumpy old lady master is one of my very favorite character archetypes.
And now
you get two.
And
True.
Yep.
And one of them's a pro Yagyu player.
When Okarun, gets cursed and he comes out with the big red face and the huge shock of white hair, like kabuki style, I was like, okay, this is a really cool concept. And then he levels up into his somewhere between like fucked up sewn on face Joker and the Max form.
Yeah, it rocks.
Yeah.
I fucking love Okarun. That design
so
is
strong.
great. I love the unbelievably funny concept of what if your superpowers made you act cringe in front of the girl you liked? And what if she was bizarrely a little bit into it?
Yep.
Hmm?
I do also like that they're like, oh yeah, no one else sees this. You have to have psychic powers, so he just looks normal to everyone else.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I workshopped this a little bit, but I finally thought up something I could say to make everybody mad. This is like if Jujutsu Kaisen was actually what Jujutsu Kaisen fans said it was.
Oh, I bet people are having feelings they can express in the comments section.
Yeah, feel free. You won't.
Chris is right to say it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this has maybe like the most sauce of anything that's gotten really popular in years.
That word is all I thought of through the entire runtime. Like, holy shit, they cracked open the whole can. Momoyase is probably one of my favorite characters in years. She's so good. She's so, like, actually written instead of being a collection of 5 random anime girl tropes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Weird.
Her reactions to confusingly being a little into Okarun are the most adorable goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Did anyone else look up the actor that she's obsessed with?
Mm-hmm.
Ken Takakura.
Yeah.
Yep. It's understandable.
I have not seen any of those films. I guess at some point I'll change that. Maybe I'll watch Mr. Okay, that's not a real movie, so maybe I'll watch 5047 Ronin.
He's also Golgo's 13 and Golgo's 13, apparently.
Yeah, and that's what I was really interested in. I've been literally sitting here going, it is bullshit that I have no experience with Golgo 13.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Mr. Baseball?
Yeah, I think he's like a cameo. Every time Golgo 13 comes up, I just think of this clip that got real popular on Twitter of Golgo he's riding up an elevator, like a waiter with a food cart gets in the elevator, then puts a gun up against their own stomach and attempts to shoot Golgo through themselves, like obscuring the gun with their body, and Golgo just effortlessly dodges it and walks out as they're dead. It's like, wow, good fucking plan, my guy.
That's great.
Yeah, every time I see a single drawing from Golgo's 13, I'm like, I don't think this person's ever actually held a gun.
No, it's everybody like one hand no scope sniper rifles.
They use an M16 like it's a sniper rifle too, right?
Look, gun shoot. I'm pretty confident on which end the bullet comes out. I'm ready to draw this manga.
That is a heartbreakingly accurate description of what must go on in several productions.
I mean,
I'm gonna go read Gunsmith Cats again and cry.
even Hideo Kojima's like, I was trying to write this story when I was a teenager and I hadn't driven a car, so I didn't understand how to write this. I was like, that's pretty funny. Huh. And then they went fast. Shit. This is terrible. Am I going to be able to write out the next 18 weeks of this just coming out slowly or whatever with a presumed possible gap in there? Like, are they going to take a break in between the two?
I don't know. They didn't
No,
do that
you're
with
gonna
Dungeon.
die.
Because they didn't. Yeah. Wait, what was that?
I said, no, you're going to die. Like, take it from someone who watched episode 6, which was the start of like the next mini arc. It looks like you're going to die waiting for episodes of this anime.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I like manga better anyway, so I'll just switch now. Although there's definitely some shit I want to see animated.
Especially, when it's Science Saru throwing down this hard.
Uh-huh.
Especially since Okarun's Japanese voice is so fucking good. When he's transformed, especially.
Oh, yeah.
I need to hear that.
Because I don't know what they do in the dub, but in Japanese he keeps ending yo at the end of all his sentences as he's doing this really, like, as he's doing the like manic depressive type personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's so sick. It's so cringe, but it's so sick.
Yes. No, it's perfectly nailing that. The bad bitch I landed by being highly bipolar and Joker pilled.
Yeah, that's the show.
Yeah, I did. I feel like there's a lot of mentally ill Zoomer, the anime. Like, that's the anime. That's that's just what they wrote in the summary.
I wonder if people are going to recommend it this episode. I don't know. It seems pretty on edge.
I mean, I kind of... We're 5 or 6 episodes into this series. I don't want to start layering on too much effusive praise, but there was a point during my watch through where I went, this feels like this was something that ran on Adult Swim for 10 years and I've seen 30 times.
Yeah, Fooly Cooly?
Yeah, that was the energy I was getting.
Uh-huh, same.
Man.
It's just every episode is a banger.
It's amazing when you write a really good action series where the characters are incredibly well realized, appealing personas. Because it's like when you were praising Ayase. Exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't feel thin. She's a very real person.
Yeah, and same with the Okarun.
Uh-huh.
Like, he doesn't fall into generic tropes and just become a super average protagonist. Like, he's a lot of, oh yeah, no, he gets worked up really easily. Like, that's written in his character all the time of like, oh yeah, no, then something will set him off, and we'll have a whole panel or a whole like scene about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it really gives him a lot more character than you expect from the protagonists in shonen shows a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how far in is this manga? Does anyone know offhand?
170 chapters. For context, the 5 episodes you watched got roughly halfway through volume 2.
Wow.
So
Sounds
there's
about
like there's probably enough for 48 episodes if they did all of it, like at this pace.
Yeah, I imagine it'll do this 24, then take a big break, maybe a year or something, then
Then
come
get a
back.
movie.
No. No.
Then we'll let Mappa finish it.
Come on. Oh man, I actually forgot the production studio that made Excel Saga. The name, what was that?
ADV?
No,
JVC?
no.
QVC?
I was gonna joke because they are the ones who always ended up picking up stuff. Like, they did the One Punch Man season 2, and they were like always the super low budget version.
I'm going to have to look it up. I can't deal with not knowing.
JC Staff.
JC Staff.
That's why all those popped in
Man.
my head.
A name I haven't heard in a long time.
I have to believe they're still making things, just, nobody's talking about it.
Are they still around?
I know that only a few years ago they were still doing stuff. Like, they did all of the Railgun, whatever that show is.
They're doing One Punch Man season 3. They have an anime this season called The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor, which is a light novel adaptation, if you couldn't fucking tell.
Oh,
that
they've been
name.
making Shokugeki no Soma. Okay.
Yeah, they also do Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest and Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
That's the one that I
Man.
even forgot that they kept doing.
Yeah, I lost track of these guys for a while, and apparently I haven't been seeing their name on the stuff they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
They also did the anime cutscenes for Mega Man ZX Advent.
Cool.
Fittingly low budget. Apt. God, I don't want to think about a season of this show made by JC Staff.
No, that would be horrible. Stop speaking it.
Their One Punch Man was already bad enough.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
I felt so bad for them. Like, I watched that season going like, this is fine. If One Punch Man season 1 didn't exist, no one would hate this.
Yeah, that's exactly the level it came in at.
Yup.
Which is by no means enough.
Cheer up, JC Staff. You're not A1 Pictures.
Well, I think it's about time we wrap up. Any other comments before we get into the end?
The OP and ED are both really good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah, no, those are
Superb.
iconic.
Yeah, no. Obviously, the internet has reacted very well.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I liked when people found out that one part of it was from a Rihanna dance. And it's like, yeah, of course. I mean, Hisoken's right over there.
Uh-huh.
They weren't going to do it again?
You fool!
Yeah, Creepy Nuts is kind of going insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also did the OP recently for the second season of Mashal, Magic and Muscles, and I think that's like one of the most successful songs
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Wow, I need to check that out because I kind of dropped Mashal after a few episodes.
I really liked it. It also doesn't overstay its welcome and is not obscenely long. Like, I think it has like 110 chapters and is done, for the record.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, 270 million views on the opening of Mashal Season 2, the Creepy Nuts song.
Wow.
And that's like the anime upload. There's other uploads that all have around 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Do look forward to episode 6, which contains something that doesn't happen enough and that I wish for in every anime I watch. A scene where a high school girl does something incredibly mean for no reason, and then someone just wrecks her shit.
See, that's funny because episode 5 had that too.
Yeah, that was a good part of episode 5.
I hope it happens every episode.
Agro once again bringing his hit her.
Yup. Shit, I
Thesis
may be
back
thinking of
to-
what had happened in episode 5.
The fucking pan falling on her head.
Yeah, the wash tub. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's...
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I clapped.
Yeah.
And Chris is right. I did immediately think of the episode about Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro.
Yes, we did the Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro WeeaBoots episode, possibly worth watching now as a follow-up piece to this, just to figure out some thesis that Agra has cooking. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Anyways, it's time to end this. Of course, we're going to do what we always do. This does not use a number scale. It has the recommendation system of, do you recommend watching Dandadan, or do you recommend maybe not? We'll start with Bob.
Yeah, I'm a total sucker for anything with paranormal stuff and UFO stuff. And they shoved both of those in one show, and it's really well animated and has good characters. Of course, you should watch it.
Dr. Agro.
This anime is an open-faced sandwich. It's 90% sauce. It's an instant classic. Go watch it.
Chris Wolfhard.
I'm going to go so far as to say, if you don't like this, maybe anime just isn't for you. Maybe go somewhere else. Derogatory.
Dandadan's great. It's spectacular. You should watch anime. Hey, do you think you're not into anime anymore and it used to be good? You should just give this a chance. And if you watch this and you don't like it, then yeah, some part of you broke. Anyways, join us next time on WeeaBoots when we have to review any number of the light novel trash anime adaptations that were listed this time.
No!
Yes, light novel Iron Man Marathon. Let's go!
The executive producers for this GigaBoots video are Esme, Ely Broyles, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, A Reminder for Symphony of War, Cooper Tank, Very Best Plot, Iconic Bane, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.